Welcome back from the breather. Still watching JoyNews Interactive with myself, Mapita CBD. It's Wednesday and we bring you Tech Talk. And Kobe, Spike and Kurma joins me for that. Good morning, Kobe.
Good morning, Maps.
How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. So next week is my birthday, right? And then my mom was like, "Oh, so what do you want?" And I was like, "I want a laptop, you know, like a nice laptop." And she's like, "What laptop?" And I was just like, I don't know, but I've got a friend who'll tell me the things to consider when I want my laptop. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why you're here. You're going to tell us the things to consider when buying a laptop.
Or a computer
Or
in
a
general.
computer.
Because sometimes you don't know what exactly you want. Maybe you want a desktop or a laptop. Some people don't move around a lot, so a desktop could really suit the purpose. So if you're looking to buy a computer, that's the first thing that you need to decide. Are you buying a desktop or you're buying a laptop? Now, it's very simple. If you're one who's going to be moving, you get a laptop. If you're one who's going to be in an office and you're not moving a lot, you don't have to carry your computer from one place to the other, then you can get a desktop. One thing you also need to know is that if you're buying a desktop or a laptop, the specs on a desktop, if you take the specs on both computers and they are the same, it will definitely be cheaper if you get a laptop of the same, a desktop of the same specs. Now, after you've decided that, hey, I want to get a desktop or a laptop, you now need to consider the size and the screen, because maybe in your office you don't have too much space. Then you need to get a screen that's quite small that can fit in your space. Or even a desktop that you're buying, the system unit has to be small enough to fit. Now, if it is a laptop that you're getting to, we have different sizes.
Okay.
Yeah, from about 11 inches to all the way to about 21-inch laptops. So depending on the size, you have to decide which one you're going for. And then also, if it's a laptop you're getting, consider the weight. You know, some laptops can be very, very heavy. So moving on, you have to now decide what kind of processor you're getting. Now you need to know what processor what processors are and what it means. And you need to know the brands. We have Intel and then we have AMD. A lot of people know Intel. So when people are going to buy a computer, they go like, well, I want an i3, i5, i7, or the latest i9.
Okay.
Now, once you've decided that this is what I want to get, there's another thing that you need to consider about processors. There's a speed, which is measured in gigahertz. Okay. So the higher the gigahertz, the faster it is. But then again, to the other factors to consider. And then moving on in this series, we'll be breaking all those down for you. Now, after you've decided on what kind of processor you want, you now want to consider your RAM. Now, your RAM, it's where most of your temporary stuff are stored. And as with your processor, the bigger the number, the better. Okay. So if you're getting a computer that has 4 gigs of RAM versus a computer that has 8 gigs of RAM, definitely the one with 8 gigs of RAM would be faster. But not always the case. There are different speeds of RAM too. And like I said, in the subsequent episodes, we'll be breaking those down too. Now, after you've decided on your RAM, you want to get a hard drive. That's where you store everything, your photos, your videos, your music, and basically everything that Maps does on her computer. Now, with hard drives, the bigger, the better. And
with what?
With hard drives.
The bigger, the better.
The bigger, the better.
Oh, yeah, because everybody likes a big hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you know that you're someone who stores a lot of movies on your computer, you want to get a very large hard drive. Now, even also with hard drives, there are different types. You have the regular hard drive, the hybrids, the SSDs. Even in the hard drives, too, they have speeds, 7,200 RPMs to 10,000 RPMs. We'll get to that. Now, when you are done choosing all these, you have to decide what OS you're going to be running, because we have Windows, we have Mac, or Linux. There are others, but they're not so popular, so I'm not going to dwell on those. Now, the short and simple of it is that you probably stick with the one that you are familiar with. If you want something that's simple and very straightforward, you get the Apple, the Mac. If you want something that is more customizable, you get the Windows. And if you're a hardcore, you want to go and get Linux. But the thing that you need to also consider that not all applications are, compatible across board. So if you also need to know the applications you'll be running to decide. Now, there's more to graphics than just a sticker on your computer. When I say graphics, we're talking about your GPU. The GPU is a graphics processing unit. If you're a gamer or a video editor, you know what I'm talking about. It's either NVIDIA or an AMD. Now, these cards are in your computer and they accelerate graphics processing. When I say graphics processing, like your visuals, your animations and everything, your video editing, if you're rendering, if you're playing video games. On some computers, you notice that when you're playing video games, they're slow, they break, they lag. That means that your graphics is not so high enough. We will get into more details in the following series, and that's about all that you need to consider before you get a computer.
Okay, that's all I need to consider. All right, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I
but
know.
we'll be breaking it down on this month's series of things to consider when getting a PC or desktop. You know, i10, i9, Intel graphics. Yeah, all of those things. We'll be literally getting deep down into it. You know, hard drives, the size of your hard drive. You need a big hard drive and all of that. But you know how to continue the conversation on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or JoyNews on TV. If you have any questions for our Geek Squad and our tech guy, Kobe Spack and Kumar, you can go to Facebook.